What's happening, everybody? It's me, Crazyfrankie, and I'd like to welcome you to my Week 1 4 key game picks of the 2021 NFL season. The NFL season is finally here, and we are about to get underway with the Thursday Night Football game, the opening game of the regular season between the defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys, and it is going to be one of my 4 key game picks I will get into in a minute. Now, before I talk about my 4 key game picks, I have to start out getting this out of the way, as I do every year when I make when I start doing these videos. Keep in mind on a couple things. That's number 1. All of my picks are opinionated and based on what I've been reading, and in terms of the lines, in terms of the spread. So keep in mind the spread can change at any moment, so it's better to keep up to date. Now, the numbers I'm going to give you for all my 4 key game picks are based at the time of I record my videos. Remember, the numbers can go up and down in terms of the spread. Also to keep in mind, all of my football picks are for entertainment purposes only. I say this every year when I start making these videos. Please keep in mind, my picks are for entertainment purposes only. I am not responsible. If you use my picks for gambling purposes, all your losses is on you. Okay? So don't blame me. Now, every time we start the regular season, obviously Week 1 is one of the more difficult football picks, because everybody is starting at 0-0, and this regular season gets underway, and it's hard to make a pick. So keep in mind, Week 1 is going to be probably the toughest. The first few weeks of the NFL seasons are going to be the toughest for any NFL pundit and NFL fans to make football picks. So keep in mind, as soon as we get later on into the season where picks could be more obvious, and obviously could be a little bit, all NFL picks could be a little bit more easier. Anyways, let's talk about Week 1 finally. Alrighty. Of course, as I mentioned earlier in the video, as I mentioned about the opening football game of the regular season, it's going to be the Dallas Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that is the first game I'm going to talk about. The defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers open up at home. They are a 7.5-point favorite in this game. And I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with that pick. If you're if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, this has got to be a little bit nerve-wracking for you guys, because obviously all of the emphasis right now for the Dallas Cowboys is going to be Dak Prescott. Sorry if I had to move my hand, because it was basically for focus. If my video was a little bit off focus, I'm sorry about that. I'm using a Logitech webcam, and focus is really hard on this camera here. Anyways, going back to this pick. Now, the Dallas Cowboys, a lot of questions are going into this game whether Dak Prescott can be healthy. And I absolutely agree with every NFL pundit. A lot of it's going to be based on how he plays in this football game. Can Dak Prescott really perform very well in this game against the Buccaneers? And obviously for Tom Brady, they still have the same football team, the same Super Bowl championship team from last season. And I'm going to make my pick very, very obvious here. I like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this game. I don't know how the Cowboys are going to play in this one here. A lot of it's going to be based on how Dak Prescott plays and if he can stay healthy, because there's a lot of questions regarding his previous injury during the preseason. But I'm picking the Buccaneers here. I think the Buccaneers will beat the Cowboys here. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a close game, but I like the Buccaneers in this one here. I think the Buccaneers will beat the Cowboys here. So yeah, I'm picking the Buccaneers over the Cowboys. Key game number 2. The Kansas City Chiefs versus the Cleveland Browns, a rematch of the divisional round from last year. The Chiefs are a 6-point favorite in this one here, and I absolutely agree with that. It's kind of really a rough start if you're it's kind of really a rough opening week if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, and all the high expectations for Baker Mayfield and that offense here, especially when your first game has to be the Chiefs. Now, a lot of it's going to depend on Patrick Mahomes and that offense. Can that offense really be intact here? I mean, I don't think this game will be a blowout whatsoever. I think it's going to be a very competitive first game between these two teams. The Browns are becoming an up-and-coming team. They made the postseason last year, winning their first road playoff win in years. And I just think I look at it this way for Baker Mayfield and on offense. I think to me this might be a back and forth affair here. But when it comes down to experience and all that, I like the Kansas City Chiefs in this game here. I think Patrick Mahomes, he's on a mission. He wants another crack at the Super Bowl again. And a lot of it's going to be determined if their offense can stay healthy and they can protect him, because that was one of the issues they had last season, was pass protection. But it is going to definitely be a competitive game. This game will not be a blowout. It should be a good one for week number 1 between these two teams here. But I just think the Chiefs are a much better team. They're more experienced. I like the Chiefs in this one here, so I'm picking the Chiefs over the Browns. Key game number 3, the Green Bay Packers versus the New Orleans Saints. Right now, there's a little bit of talk of where the New Orleans Saints are going to play, obviously because of remnants of Hurricane Ida that struck New Orleans about a week ago, as at the time of this video. No word yet if this game will be played in New Orleans. It wouldn't be surprised if to play in a different football field somewhere out of New Orleans, because obviously New Orleans right now, they're still recovering. And really right now for the New Orleans Saints, it's kind of been a bit of a distraction right now, because they're trying to focus on football, but at the same time too, their home city has been devastated by another hurricane. Now, talking about football here, Packers are a favorite at 4 points. I wouldn't be surprised if this number goes to maybe 3.5, maybe 3. Aaron Rodgers and that Green Bay offense. Let's see if him and Devontae Adams can keep that tandem going for that offense here. New Orleans Saints, obviously, with Jameis Winston being the starting quarterback, but obviously another issue is going to be Kamara, if Kamara is going to be healthy, and in terms because he's badly needed in that offense. It should be a good game here for this one here, but I'm going to pick the Green Bay Packers here, because I just think to me Aaron Rodgers wants to get that offense going, and I think he'll get that offense going, especially with the Saints defense. Their defensive struggles are still continuing. I don't know if their defense can hold that offense of Aaron Rodgers and the Packers here. And that is why I'm picking the Green Bay Packers in this one here. I think the Packers will beat the New Orleans Saints here. It might be a good game, but I just think to me the Packers are going to be too much for the Saints to handle here. I like the Packers over the New Orleans Saints. And finally, key game number 4, it is the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are a favorite in this one at 6.5. Don't be surprised if that number goes down to maybe 6, maybe 5.5 before the start of this football game. A lot of it's going to depend for the Steelers right now on how healthy Ben Roethlisberger is. Obviously, he did lose some weight in the offseason to increase his mobility a little bit here. And let's see if that Pittsburgh offense can get back to form. Now, it's going to be a tough task against that Buffalo offense as well. Josh Allen is looking to make a case for MVP of the league. Their team is pretty much still intact from last season. It should be a pretty good game here. It's going to be a back and forth affair. I can see this game being a good one as well. But surprisingly, I'm actually going to go with the Buffalo Bills in this one here. I think to me, it's going to be a very close game, but I'm picking the Bills here. It's really a tough pick here. You could go either way with this one here. Even though despite the Bills being a 6.5 point favorite in this one here, but I still think the Bills will beat the Steelers in a very, very close game. And I'm going to pick the Bills in this one here. Bills over the Steelers. All right, everybody, that wraps up my 4 key game picks for week number 1. If you want to see all of my picks for the entire week, please check the description below. And I'll talk to you guys next week when I make my picks for week number 2. And until then, take care and enjoy your football weekend.